Kind of got a semi.
Taking care of my situation myself, if you know what I mean. Handling my own business.
I'm a good Amish boy.
I think the moral of the story, you f***ing idiot, that it's not so much the pursuit of happiness. I think the happiness is more in the pursuit. I have autism or Asperger's. In the world of autism, I'm a B+. Ref came up and he was like, hey man, like you did not win that fight. He was like, what? He's like, you dropped him on his head. That you can't do that. He's like, oh.
Dude.
He started crying.
Dude, there's something to... Yeah, you got...
He was sitting up on top of the cage going, yeah.
Like, dude, yeah, you're fighting.
And then he was like, you didn't win. He was like, like legit started crying.
Dude, like, yeah, you're fighting this guy.
Yeah.
You're trying to knock each other out.
Yeah.
But, like, at the end of the day, it's still a competition.
Yeah.
Like, you're not trying to actually kill that guy. If you were trying to kill that guy, you'd be able to knee him on the head while he's on the ground and rip out his eyeballs.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So, like, there's some things that I'll see in, like, MMA, and I just watch it, and I'm just like, dude, unsportsman. That is unsportsmanlike.
All day or day, damn day.
Because, again, it's a sportsman's game.
Yeah.
It's not a I'm gonna kill you game.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Yep. Some people treat it like that. I guarantee your fucking Crow Cop guy treated it like that.
Yeah, he was definitely trying to kill people.
Yeah. You could tell by the way some dudes like hit and kick people that they're trying to kill people.
Yeah. You see it and you're like, oh.
Yeah. Like Tyson would have been happy if he would have taken a life during his fights.
Yeah, he would have had no qualms.
No.
Tyson, no qualm.
Yeah.
What we called him.
Tyson No Qualm. Is that what you called him?
Yeah, that's what we called him back in the day.
That was his name.
Back in the hood, we called him Tyson No Qualm.
Yeah. Some people have that like that nickname. Like Nolan Sandalorian Meeks.
Yeah,
he was
No Qualm.
Tyson No Qualm.
Yeah.
Mike No Qualm Tyson.
Yeah.
Got it.
Tyson No Qualm Mike. Just flip it around.
Just a little backwards.
Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone.
What is going down in this 3-horse town? Welcome to the 2A Procast.
We've got some puppies with us today.
We got some pooch dogs in this motherfucker. Yeah, a little 2A Procast going on. A little 4th of July cast, if you will. 6th of July.
Yeah, 6th of July.
As you're probably listening to this, but it means that we celebrated our Dia de la Independencia.
I did celebrante.
You did celebrate the Dia de la Independencia?
See.
So yeah, it was
Happy Independence Day.
It was a good 4th. Ed, how was your 4th? I had a great 4th.
Dude, my 4th was so sick, dude.
Yeah,
I
my
did
4th.
So much stuff on the 4th.
I know.
Yeah.
Yep. We haven't had the 4th of July yet. We're recording this before the 4th of July.
This is on the 2nd of July.
I was considering just pretending like we had already done it.
No, dude, we can. We have. We are. This is after we did it.
I just woke up and prayed to the ghost of John Adams. That's about it. Beat off to
Dear John Adams.
Dear John Adams.
Dear ghost of John Adams.
Dear ghost of John Adams.
Dear ghost of John Adams.
Found some lovely.
Your hair is crazy.
Found some lovely Renaissance women on the internet. Took it to the bathroom with a bottle of lotion. You ever had a old school beat off session?
What do you mean, like old school porn?
Yeah, like took it back to the older decades, or just got some of those like old dress advertisements from like the 1800s, just to see if you could finish.
I don't.
You ever done that? No, you haven't done that. Neither have I, but I've thought about it.
I mean, I'm not gonna.
Well, you should try it.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm thinking about it.
Listen.
Kind of got a semi.
Taking care of my situation myself, if you know what I mean. Handling my own business when I was, we were all teenage boys once.
No.
Not getting laid. And when you grow up in the age of analog, so for those of you out here who have never not had a cell phone or never not had the internet whilst you've been in school, let me tell you that sometimes you had to get really creative.
Sears catalog.
Exactly. You had to get into, you had to go to like Good Housekeeping. Ooh. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And maybe Martha, was wearing maybe she was having a day by the pool making her fresh lemonade in Good Housekeeping. And, you grab that bottle of Jergens, snuck it out of your, your parents' bedroom somewhere, or I don't know, maybe the bathroom. Hope nobody would notice. grab a ruler to see if you've leveled up in the last couple of weeks.
Okay.
And then went to town.
Right.
Yeah.
Measuring the pubes, be like, they're so long now.
Yeah, that's
Look
it.
at all these pubes.
You just can't forget the ruler in the bathroom.
No.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
No one's going to believe you were doing math in the bathroom.
No one. Not a
Nobody.
single person.
Nobody is going to believe
Not a
you.
person. No.
What were you doing with this in here? With a bottle of lotion and a magazine of Good Housekeeping?
Why are you sweating profusely?
Man, it was difficult. Yeah. Mine was, I'd get it done to Jasmine from Aladdin every once in a while.
This makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Checks out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there wasn't a whole lot else, man. Like, there was no internet.
Right.
You had to be 18.
You just had what you had.
You had to be 18 to buy a dirty mag, you know?
True.
Yeah. Had what you had. You were just hoping a Hanes commercial would come on for some bras or something, you know?
I don't know anything about this. I've never masturbated, never had sex. I'm a good Christian boy.
You would be Amish if that were the case.
I'm a good Amish boy. I'm one of those things.
So, to celebrate
The 4th of July.
the 4th of July,
We masturbate.
we masturbate to Renaissance women.
We stroke one out for the flag.
So yeah, man. Today we're gonna talk about we're not gonna have a big Independence Day podcast
Because you should have seen our Independence Day range therapy.
we had a range therapy. We had a short dedicated to 4th of July. So
Yep.
there's other content around the 4th of July, but. Happy birthday, America, nonetheless.
Happy birthday.
There was plenty of stuff that we did on it already. I think it would be remiss of us,
say that.
miss of the revarietal,
Yeah.
not to engage in a conversation about how fucked we actually are in this current political situation, judging by the debate that we all watched on July 27th.
Does everybody remember that?
June 27th, sorry. What?
Does everybody remember it?
If you,
I know it's like it's like a
full
week.
Yeah, it's like a week ago.
I know that like time is hard to remember, guys. It's been a whole week now.
But
Dude, we're so cooked.
yeah, that was, there's been some really cool stuff happening in the Supreme Court since, in this past week. I mean, that is indeed the good news.
Yes.
Really feeling, Trump's placements in SCOTUS, which is great. I'm happy about that, especially that Chevron deal.
Dude.
That's going to be
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to dive into all that in just 1 second.
okay.
The first thing we need to say is, are you even part of the 2A Discord yet? 2A Pro Discord server? Are you?
If you're not in the 2-8 Pro Discord,
What are you doing
then
with your
you
life?
disgust me.
Yeah.
It is.
I'm disgusted.
It's a fun place. A place that I have not been in the last week, unfortunately.
You've
But
been a bad man.
I know I go in there and I'll troll a little bit, but it's highly active.
Yeah.
Everybody's in there having a
Consistently.
great time, meeting people, joining forces, training together.
Sharing Renaissance pictures.
Yeah, sharing Renaissance
Consistently.
pictures to potentially masturbate to, which is great. No, it really is, man. It's a cool little system of individuals. It's a really cool community of individuals who have met each other, befriended each other, and now train together, or at least share training advice.
Yeah.
And just life advice. In
It's
general.
uplifting.
And it's way more than just guns in there. It's a lot of it is around. It's all found Second Amendment foundation,
Yeah.
right? But much more of it comes out. There's mental health channels, and there's it talks about religion, cars, dogs. Like there's literally channels for everything. that
So
your
many channels.
Little heart can imagine. There's a penis size channel.
Is there?
Yeah, it's like a little penis size competition channel in there.
Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
I lose every time I go in there, unfortunately.
I'm
But
very disappointed in all of you.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Colleen Noir made his way in there. He's winning. So
Clearly.
clearly.
His right leg is
Natural.
actually missing.
Naturally. But yeah, and the 2A Pro course, if you want to start a business in the Second Amendment, do it. We show you how. It's amazing. A lot of
Well,
students
Jake
are doing
shows
it
you
really
how.
He shows you how to do the social media.
I just made him show you how.
Yeah, you edited all the videos
Yeah.
of me showing them how.
Yeah.
And you're making your own videos of showing
Yes,
them how to do
I'm
social
working
media,
on it.
which is fantastic. And good for you.
Thanks,
Yeah,
dude.
good for you. It's helping a lot of people. These guys are actively changing their lives.
Which is fucking awesome.
They're
Congratulations, guys.
Not wanting to put a bullet in their head, going to work every morning because they have something to look forward to.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are actually making a lot of money to the tunes of, tens of thousands of dollars for the ones that are actually doing the 10K and 10-day thing.
That's awesome.
It's really cool, man. Yeah,
sweet.
Very excited about it. I heard something really cool the other day. I was reading something about after we got done with that discussion with Russ on dopamine.
Russell.
So dopamine, for those of you, this from a mental health standpoint, right? For anybody that's out there that is feeling kind of bogged down, that doesn't have motivation, this is cool. Dopamine is released when you start a project and when you start a journey. Did you know that?
I did not.
Significantly more dopamine is released when you start a project and start a journey. Brain scans were done like that on folks that have actually began something, started ideating about something, starting something new, starting on a new path, looking forward to getting to a goal or an end state. Mm-hmm. But rarely does dopamine kick in, that real good feel-good juice.
That feel-good stuff.
When you finish the project.
Really?
Accomplishing your goal gives you a small dopamine hit.
Yeah.
Just like checking crossing that to-do thing off on your to-do list. But rarely does that actually release nearly as much dopamine as actually getting the project started and having something to look forward to. Think about it like this. What was more exciting, looking forward to a vacation or actually being on the vacation? Think about it. I mean, really, like when you were like getting prepared for something with your friends, like this is going to be fucking sick. We're all going to go to Vegas, right? I've always
that's a good point. Yeah,
you start like rallying with
Everybody's
the boys, planning the trip.
hyphy,
Everybody's like, are you ready for this? This is going to be fucking awesome. Getting stoked about it. And when you're there, sure, it's fun.
It's kind of like SHOT Show.
But when you're like directly in the middle of it happening,
it's not as cool.
It's never as cool as the planning. And that's
it can still be awesome, but it's still just not as awesome.
You don't feel as good. And that's the dopamine. And so the reason why what I'm getting here is like that's what's cool about starting the course is like it gives you something to look forward to. It puts you on a journey that never really is going to end. And when you run a business, when you own a business in any capacity, that's kind of the way it works. I'm not saying I'm just like constantly having dopamine hits all the time, but it is far more exciting for me to live my life having things to look forward to every day and challenges and problems to solve every day. Yeah. I get those dopamine hits from that. When those challenges or problems get solved and then it's over, I very rarely, for me, I don't, I just kind of move on to the next thing. There's not a whole lot of feel good or celebration. I'm happy it's done, I guess, but I don't get nearly the value that I get out of something when I start planning it.
So is the moral of the story just to start a bunch of projects?
Yes. Just start a bunch of stuff and never finish them. That is all you got to do.
There you go. So if your wife is like, honey, why do you have so many unfinished projects? Be like, listen, studies were done. I'm just trying to keep my dopamine up.
I think the moral of the story, you f***ing idiot, is... I'm joking. We're both idiots.
Moron.
I think the moral of the story is that it's not so much the pursuit of happiness. I think the happiness is more in the pursuit. See what I'm saying?
That's nice.
So that, I don't know, man. That's kind of the way I look at
eloquent.
it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Eloquent.
I'm going to put that on my underwear.
Front or back?
Well, you'll have to find out, dude.
All right.
Debate.
Let's
talk about the debate.
Let's talk about our presidential elect and incumbent.
Let's talk about our presidential popularity race.
Dude.
That popularity fucking Miss America. I'm kind
of at a loss for words. I will say this, that at no point in time should two men who are about to be or currently are the leaders of the free world on the international stage representing you and I.
Exactly what you're going to say.
I'm talking about representing the United States of America, representing every man, woman, and child in the United States of America, representing our historical, the historical accolades of our forefathers, our Constitution, our freedom, stand up on international stage and start debating on who the fuck is better at golf. Like that, that is some. On the first debate, I get it. If these guys are standing on stage every every debate, 19. And they're tired and exhausted, and there's really nothing left to talk about.
Exhausted. They're like fucking 90.
I know. Fuck. I saw that, and I kind of checked out of the debate after that. I think you and I talked about that. That's really when I turned it off. I was so disgusted at where we are at this point that the problems that we have in this country are so severe, and you guys can't step back for 2 fucking seconds and stop attacking each other about either your golf swing or your age or what they're lying about or what they didn't do. How about you talk about the issue and what you're going to do about it and make promises to the American people? That's all either of them would have had to do to win the debate.
Right.
That was it. They just step back for 2 seconds and say, you know what, we have a serious problem. There's an invasion at the border. This is something that we had never seen before. We are going to see terrorist threats like we've probably never faced before. We're going to see insurgency both in our military and in our government political offices that we've never seen before. And we have to do something about it, or they will turn our country upside down from the inside out, because people will interject themselves in politics. That's how you really do it.
Yeah.
That's how you fucking do it. You get in here, you get involved, you fund the right campaigns, or you actually get involved in the campaigns, and you can turn the country upside down from the inside out.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be just a bomb brought into a theater and blowing people up. I mean, that's the small scale.
Yeah.
That's the small scale shit. That's the stuff to divert your attention against what they're
That's
actually
what the
doing.
morons do.
Right. That's what the fucking idiots do.
Yeah.
The smart ones play the fucking long game. The Chinese government is playing the fucking long game. They're looking to disrupt this country from the inside out, and it's happening, and we see it happening. So for these 2 fucking idiots to stand up on stage, both of them, Democrat, Republican, 2 wings of the same bird, and fucking clowns.
Dude,
they're both fucking clowns.
I was very disappointed with both sides.
Absolutely. 100%. Now, don't get me wrong. I like Trump more than I like Biden for very fucking obvious reasons. It was just such an insult to who we are.
Right. I mean, it's kind of easy in that respect. It's like, who do you want running the country, a narcissist or a dementia-ridden narcissist?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, obviously I'm going to choose just the narcissist.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I can't have somebody with dementia fucking running the country. No. Well, because he's not running the country anyway. We're all aware of this.
Dude, yeah.
I mean, people are running it behind the scenes, obviously.
Clearly.
And of course they want him to be in office. They don't want they don't want to pull him out in lieu of anybody else. You know, I heard something really interesting, and I forget who I was talking to. Oh, you know who I was talking to? I was talking to a buddy of mine. We were out at dinner the other night. He said something really interesting. He said, who do you think would be the number one person to replace Biden? And I was like, I can't really think of anybody, because they've been talking about Gavin Newsom replacing Biden, right? And his poll numbers are even below Biden's. So that's
Newsom?
not going to, oh yeah, it's not going to work. Yeah, they ran polls and he was 10% under Biden. So they were like, well, we can't replace him.
That's because everybody knows fucking California is garbage and it's his state.
So here's my buddy's theory, and I haven't seen it anywhere else. And he's like, I promise you, dude, this is fucking an original theory. And I was like, what is it? And okay, so listen to this. I want everybody to hear this. This is not my idea. I wish it was. I wish I could sit out. He doesn't even listen to this fucking podcast, so I could totally take credit for it, but I'm not going to. Ready?
Dude, I've been waiting this whole time.
Think about who has previously been in politics, all of them, right? Just who has been in politics in the presidential orbit over the course of the last couple decades that could potentially come in and be president. In the presidential orbit.
Okay.
In the last couple of decades. Think.
Okay.
Now, you in the audience that are listening right now to the podcast, I want you to think.
Al Gore.
I'm super serial.
You're so not like far off, right? Really, not far off. Okay. But you may not get this. Think about this. Somebody that came in that Democrats absolutely 100% trust, that hasn't ruined her credibility yet amongst the Democratic Party, and has actually never formally been a politician. Think about this.
Never formally been a
politician. But guaranteed would have the backing of the former president to give her all insightful direction, and could be running
Michelle Obama?
Exactly. Running president
Michael Obama?
Michael Obama.
Dude.
And I was like, dude, I didn't even fucking think about that. He was like, yeah, dude, watch. Just watch. He said, I may be totally wrong. He was like, but if I'm fucking right, I was like, if you're right, dude, every dinner on me for the rest of your fucking life. Cause he said, just watch out for it, because if they do get to that scale, if they have to tip the scale where Biden has to come out of office due to mental inequity issues, mental illness issues, essentially, what are we going to do? Who are we going to put in place by proxy? Michelle Obama could take that seat, and the country would be ran by. You know why people would vote for her, right?
Because he's a black woman.
Because he's a black woman. Because they know that behind the scenes, Barack Obama would be running the country.
Right.
It would just be like giving.
That's an interesting.
It would be giving him a third term.
That's an interesting thought process.
Huh?
Well, I mean, there's already been speculation that Joe has been fucking Obama's third term.
That what?
That Joe
was what?
Obama's third term.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well, that was the other thing that he brought up, right? He said, how do you know that, like, Obama's not running the fucking country right now? And I was like, we fucking don't, right? And he said he probably fucking is. So if that's the case, right, this is just a nice little segue into Obama never really leaving office since he's left office, in a sense. With the exception of the Trump tenure.
Interesting.
Wouldn't it?
That'd be very, very interesting.
Yeah. I think she would fucking win. That's the scary thing. Can you imagine the votes that would come out? And the reason why I think she would win is because Biden's not bringing anybody out to the fucking polls, right?
No,
he's not.
Absolutely not.
People ain't getting out of their couch to fucking go vote for that guy. They might be a Democrat. They might vote democratically. They may be a staunch Democrat, but they're not getting out of their fucking seat. They might not even send the ballot via in mail. But you get somebody like Michelle Obama, like the first black woman with a former president to back her, it would be a shit show.
That'd be wild.
They would come out of the woodwork to get Obama in a third term, because that's all that would really be happening, is getting Obama in a third term. I just don't understand
why they haven't pushed for it now.
What?
Michelle.
She has. She was asked, I think. I saw a clip like Oprah asked her, "Are you going to run for president?" And she said, like, "No, I don't know." Right? So
I don't like it.
Yeah,
I don't like it.
Well, we fucking obviously don't like it.
Yeah,
but I'm just telling you, like, this is it. If you really think about the most viable option to rally up the fucking troops to get them to vote for anybody, Newsom's he's a gross underdog. Yep. But if they trust that a former president is going to be behind the scenes on running the country, then they would vote for her.
Probably.
Yeah, I think so. It would galvanize them. It would get them off the couch and get them to go out there and vote. Scary shit.
I don't like your theory. That terrifies me.
Oh, I don't like that theory either.
Yeah.
I think that theory is fucking garbage. Yeah, no.
That scares me. That's a terrifying thought.
But hey, she would match it. There'd be an executive order to just move. Wasn't that her thing?
This led to our new initiative, Let's Move.
She had her move.
I don't know.
It was her little thing.
I was still very young for that presidency.
Yeah, no, Michelle Obama's thing, it was called Move. It was getting the kids active.
Just move.
Just move.
It's kind of like Just Say No.
She had her Just Move campaign. It was her
Just Say No, yeah.
Yeah. She's like, get the kids outside in the yard and play. And I was like, yeah, don't tell me how to be a fucking parent, you dumb cunt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like people telling me what to do.
Yeah. I was like, now that you told me that, my kid's going to stay inside and watch video games and TV all day, you dumb bitch.
Yeah. I was just having this conversation with Carly. I was driving her to the airport. And we were having this conversation about how when we see these kind of these
larger?
No, I don't want to. I'm just thinking how to say this.
Fat.
These extra sensitive guys that are like,
oh, okay.
I guess just nice guys always finish last. Like girls just don't want a good guy. Like I just want someone who I can read poetry with and I was talking with her and I was like, seeing guys like that make me, who is a rational male, who's not like overtly retarded, want to be overtly toxic.
Yeah.
Like seeing that, and he's like, I love a girl for her personality. I see that, and I'm like, I only love a girl for her ass.
Yeah.
Like it makes me want to do the opposite.
I know. Yeah, I know.
Just to spite you.
I know.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's that like, go out with the kids and play. It's like, now my kids are going to stay inside.
I know.
Why do you want my kids out, huh?
Well, that's the reason why they're fucking doing that, right? The dudes that get on social media and behave like that are telling, What's that?
The Soch.
The Soch and behave like that is because the reality is all they care about is the ass too. But this is their manipulative mechanism to get there. Is they're hoping somebody will fucking see that.
Like the guy to the country songs.
That guy's great. If you can find him, if you or Carly are editing this video, you got to pop. You just watch
this.
Watch
Ready?
this guy.
And
If I could ever go without watermelon sugar.
Hi, baby, do you wanna be mine? Maybe we can see the seaside. Wanna kick it with you.
now that you've watched that,
And I'm sorry but you have to see, this is what we're dealing with. Now, at first you would think, okay, this guy's probably just making a joke, probably joking about how other men do this. He's making a mockery of it.
No.
This is in jest.
No.
We went through this man's Instagram feed.
It's
and
all of it.
It's all very.
It's all of
It's
it.
all very real.
it's all of it.
It's terrifying,
Dude,
Yeah,
he's like a pick-me girl.
yeah. He said
He's a pick-me guy.
He's like singing to the lyrics of the song, and then he said, "How would you like a single dad, 6'2", with 2 daughters?" Well, he said 6'2". He said, "How would you like a single dad, nice man, 2 daughters, 6'2"?" And when I read that, my tism went, "Why would I care that your daughters were 6'2"?" And I was like, oh, he has 2 daughters and he is 6'2". I read that wrong.
Jesus.
I don't care that your daughters are 6 foot. Anyway,
You know what? I want to run
But
through
that
this
is-
with you.
he-
Speaking of autism,
if we were to like sum up what was wrong with men today, it would be that.
it would be that.
It would be that.
It'd be that.
Yeah. And
Well,
if any woman is like wondering, like,
Honestly, if I
why
could-
did your wife leave you? Then just
It's
go
that.
to his fucking Instagram.
It's
and
that.
like,
It's clearly that.
Yeah.
That was underlying the whole time, so that explains why she's gone.
She caught you doing that in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You turned on fucking Luke Bryan and you're like,
Yeah. And then she walked in and she's like, "What the are you doing?"
and you were recording and she was like, let me see your phone.
Yeah.
And all it is you doing that. And you're like, I can't lie to you anymore. This is who I really am.
said
And
you-
she goes, here's your divorce papers. I'm out.
She probably said, "I thought you were going to go cut the trees down in the backyard." Yeah, but I wanted to see if Lowe's had that electric chainsaw. And then it was just like, fucking get out of
Get
my
out
house.
of here.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Anyway,
If you're not using a gas-powered chainsaw and oil,
dude, the craziest thing is
Honestly,
I actually tried
electric chainsaws are pretty
They are
lit.
fucking sick.
They're sick as
Have
shit.
have you used one?
Hell yeah, dude.
I know.
I'm talking shit about
My
it, but they
brother-in-law,
fuck.
I know that brother-in-law had one, and it was a DeWalt, and it like took a DeWalt battery.
And you're like, what
And I
is
was
this
like,
stupid
yeah.
chainsaw?
I was like,
we need to all
what is
try
this?
it.
What is this? A chainsaw for ants? And I said it has to be at least 3 times more powerful than this. I couldn't believe it though. It was smooth. It was quiet. It cut faster than the gas chainsaw that I had out there, which was handed to me directly from a man who was an arborist himself. I mean, I had this chainsaw, like, it was a great chainsaw.
Yeah.
Fantastic gas-powered chainsaw. And up against it was this DeWalt, and it smoked it.
Dude,
It smoked
they
it. And I was
rip.
like, damn it. It was just like when I drove an electric car, and I was like, fuck, this thing is fast.
Yeah. Well, that's,
I don't want to like it.
but there's
and I'll
the-
never own one, and I
right.
don't like it.
But there's the thing, right? Like it's with the electric versus gas.
Yeah.
The pros and cons are the electric has infinite, like almost infinite torque,
Well,
or
it's
infinite
instant.
torque curve.
Yeah.
Right. It's instant all the time.
Yeah, it's instant torque. Yeah,
You don't
yeah.
have to build like a gas power, but battery runs out.
Their ECU actually has to turn it down.
Correct.
So that you can, like, not,
Break it.
pop a fucking wheelie in the car. Well,
Yes.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not spin your wheels to actually get some traction.
Yes,
Yeah,
it has
tones
to
that
slow
shit.
it down.
Yeah.
But with a gas car or with a gas item like a chainsaw,
Sure.
you can run it all day.
Yeah.
Yeah. EVs, they stop. Or
Yes.
electric chainsaws, they will stop. And then you got to go, I got to charge it. My batteries
That's
are
right.
dead. But my batteries are dead. And
That's right.
then your batteries stop working. And then you got to get new batteries. And then
Yeah, I went into Harbor Freight to get.
fucking love
I was
Harbor
gonna
Freight.
buy a little dirt bike or a little side by side for the in-laws property, and I went in there and they had like one gas powered thing, and then everything else was electric. And I was like, "Where's all your gas stuff, man?" And he was like, "Oh man, everything's electric now, man. You gotta just." These things are way faster. They're way better. But I was like, yeah, but what the fuck happens when I'm down at the bottom of the property and it runs out of fucking juice?
Yeah, you're fucked.
He's like, huh?
I didn't think of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. What the fuck am I going to do, dude?
Well-
This thing weighs 300 pounds. You want me to, like, I'm going to have to drive my truck down there and I'm going to have to tow it back
All the
up
way
to the
back?
house so that I can plug it in. And he was like, well, you could bring a generator down there and charge it. And I was like, a gas powered generator to charge my electric vehicle down at the bottom of the hill
Down at the bottom of the hill.
instead of just buying a fucking gas powered vehicle. So,
Not running out of gas.
so you find the fucking irony in that? Why I don't want to buy the fucking electric fucking car?
Well, I think it's the way that kind of brains are going nowadays, with less and less people owning property and land, and less people, being in that kind of fucking woodsy lifestyle. I was talking to a tow truck driver the other day because my car blew up.
Yeah.
Radiator issues, and he was towing it, and I had my backpack next to me. We were taking the pups out to the lake. And he was like, "You going camping?" Because he saw my tomahawk hooked through my backpack.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, "No, I just keep my essentials with me when I go out."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, really? What do you got?" I was like, "Well, tomahawk, speaker, medical, revolver, IFAC." I was like, "Fucking radio." He goes, "Good for you." and we started talking about it. And he's like, "What you'll see is he's like, you see these yuppies. He's like, you see these city folk. He's like, honestly, they get really confused that electricity and water don't work."
Yeah.
He's like, they don't mix. He's like, and so what you have is these people who drive their fucking Teslas out here in the fucking winter.
Yeah.
And wonder why they don't work. And he's like,
It was a huge problem.
Nikola Tesla figured out water and electricity didn't work a couple hundred years ago, or however long Tesla was around.
Yeah. No.
Was it 1800 something?
No idea.
Yeah.
But what I do know,
should know
is
that
that
better.
Teslas they'd be driving up to Tahoe and you get that big line on Highway 50 up to Lake Tahoe.
Okay.
And their batteries would drain. They would just like
drain.
significantly. Yeah. Like they would have 15% of the fucking battery life that they normally would going up over the hill. And they would all have to get towed.
Yeah.
They couldn't, there's nowhere to go. There's no charging station.
Yeah.
They just died.
EVs don't work in cold.
No.
Yeah.
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 So, whoops.
Whoopsies.
Should have thought about
well,
that
that's
one.
like that was happening in Canada. It was happening in Oregon.
Yeah.
Like when the snows came and stuff, they were just like on the streets. They're like,
Just lined
it
up
won't
one
start.
after the other.
my Tesla won't start. It won't unlock. It's like, well,
Yeah.
that sucks.
It's fucking Chile.
Yeah, it's cold.
Chilean sea bass.
When you have something that runs off of just electricity, and that's not a lead acid battery, buddy.
Yeah. Well, that, and going back to, this is why we have to get the people in place that are going to be not for this renewable energy bullshit.
Right,
Now,
full circle back to the debate.
There's nothing wrong with having some solar on your house.
No, there's 100. Renewable energy, like the
I can dig
idea
it.
of solar electric vehicles. I like that idea.
Sure.
We're not there yet.
Forcing me to pay for solar on my house, that's a different story. Now, you go buy a new home.
Right.
It is mandated in the state of California that home has to come
joking.
with
I
solar.
didn't know that.
Yeah, it is mandatory.
Oh my God.
Now, you could buy a used home, right? You could buy a home that was built prior to, I think it was 2000. It was either 2019.
So kind of
Yes,
grandfathered in.
Yes, if the home had started being built in 2019, then it did not count, right? Then it was exempt.
So much
Okay.
government overreach.
Now,
It's
that is the
unbelievable.
home that I bought. It was built in 2019. I bought the house. It did not have solar because there was no solar mandate. Had there been a solar mandate, I wouldn't have bought the fucking house.
Right.
However, I then put solar on my house. Why? Because it was my fucking choice.
Right.
I wanted to. I was like, hey,
As
I'd
you
like
should.
some solar on my house.
Yeah.
You know? I'd like some pool solar to heat the pool and run that water up
Right.
onto the roof. But
It's free
I don't want
energy.
you to, or I'll buy a house that already has it that somebody else invested in it.
Right.
But if I don't get to choose whether or not I have it on my home and you're just going to make me pay for it because that's what you have to do with a new home, then go fuck yourself. Yeah.
So my question is, which solar company is Newsom in bed with? That he's making this?
Sierra Pacific Solar Heating and Air.
Is it?
The guys in the big red trucks, beep, beep.
Is that their thing?
No, they just paid me to say that on this podcast.
nice.
I'm joking.
How much money did you get
Yeah, fucking probably.
Yeah. He's got to be.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure he called up his fucking Aunt Pelosi. Nancy, if you guys
Yeah.
didn't know that, Nancy Pelosi is fucking Newsom's
Good old
aunt.
Nance.
And said, hey, let your fucking husband know to invest in X, Y, and Z stock.
Yeah.
Because we're about to mandate solar in the state of California, and it's going to spike.
It's going to skyrocket.
Straight up,
Yeah.
dude. Yeah.
I wouldn't doubt it. How else do all these people become millionaires?
That's exactly how they fucking. That's exactly how they all become
through
fucking
corruption
millionaires.
and crime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They guide the beacon, right? They point the ship the direction that they want the economy to go, and then they invest in that section of the fucking economy.
Yeah.
That is exactly what they do. They steer the ship in that direction, and then they go boom, and they chum a bunch of fucking bait out right in front of it. People buy the shit. They make a ton of money. The boat gets there, executes the thing, and it's game over. And then they pick the next thing that they're going to go after. God. Insider trading is like probably one of the most corruptive things that is happening in our government today.
It's the entire stock market.
Yeah.
That's it. The stock market exists to pool funds from the average citizen so the fucking insider traders can take it from you.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
Because they know when it's going to drop. They know that they're going to implement the things that are going to make it drop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that is exactly fucking why it is my opinion that if I were to take every dollar that I've ever fucking invested, right? I've quasi like done the math where I was like, okay, if I made X amount of money every year and I took like 10% of what I made and I invested it into the stock market and it provided me an 8% annual return, how much money would I have now? I like get weird like that sometimes. My ADD goes off into this very strange direction and I start performing weird calculations. Like, I wonder where I'd be. Where would I be if I had started investing then? The reality is I would be nowhere near the amount of, and I'm not saying I'm some like big, rich, wealthy guy. What I'm saying is I would have nowhere near the wealth that I have today, not using wealth in the term of I'm wealthy, but just the actual wealth that I hold today. I would have nowhere near the wealth that I hold today if I instead, which I did, took those monies and put them into business, reinvested them into guaranteed ROI with my business.
Right.
And
if you put that in somebody else's business with stocks, you're saying you wouldn't be as wealthy as you are putting it into your own business.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's why, like, I get it. Like, I'm not a financial advisor out there, and this is not a fucking to sell you on the 2A.
And this is not financial advice.
It's not financial advice. It's also not to sell you on the 2A Pro course.
It is.
Yeah, but it is. If anybody asked me, like, should I take out my, like, 401k and invest it into a business?
Probably.
Not right away.
Yeah.
Slow roll it. Make sure it's got some traction. And then if you see traction, if you see that I can put $1 in and get $5 out, like every time I do it, because that's what was happening to me.
Then yes.
Yes. Go fucking raid your savings and put all the dollars into that fucking thing and get all the dollars out.
Yeah.
Now, again, you don't do that right out the gate. You don't want to mortgage your fucking home to start a business you don't know is going to work.
That's a
but
bad
if you
idea.
get some shit going and you're like, man,
you're going to the farmer's market.
I fed in $1 and I got $3-4 out. Why wouldn't you move your money from an investment in the fucking stock market over to that investment?
Right.
Because when you master the art of being able to sell or being able to earn money, and you mastered the art of how to earn money, and I'm not saying I've mastered it, but I've gotten pretty fucking good at it. I know that I can outperform the S&P 500 any day of the fucking week, and I have. So why would I invest in the S&P 500 if I can outperform the S&P 500?
Doesn't make sense.
I would never put my money in that.
That's a bad investment.
It is.
That's what that's called.
Yes, absolutely. So, yeah. I don't know. The only reason that I choose to take money, throw it into 401k because it's dollar for dollar match on my salary from the business. And when I do that, it's obviously everything gets written off. And, the smart accounting guys up at the top said, this is how you should do it. And then you can pull it out even with penalty. You're going to make more money doing it than if you get penalized going into a taxable tax brackety thing, as long as you reinvest it back into your business to buy cost of goods sold.
the tax code.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. Yeah.
I want to do something with you because you brought this up and you fucking flicked it in my brain.
You want to talk about pinky toes?
Yeah.
I'll talk about pinky toes.
Let's talk about pinky toes.
What do pinky toes and women have in common?
They're both small, dainty.
Yes. They're cute.
They're cute.
Yes.
They're delicate and they're frail.
They provide balance, would you say? Women
yes.
provide balance? Yes.
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 And I hit them on everything in my house.
Yes. Very, very good. What? No, that's not good. That was no. I was more leaning towards.
What are you talking about? I hit that shit everywhere.
I was leaning towards. You kind of forget they're there, and
Until they're gone.
you forget they're there until they're gone. You don't appreciate them being there until you bang them on the living room coffee table. See what I did there?
I see what you did there.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about reading glasses? What do
I don't know where you're going. with
women
this.
in reading glasses?
They help you see things more clearly.
They do.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yes.
Anything else?
I constantly misplace them.
They
cost.
That's
more,
actually the last.
They're constant. They
You
cost
const-
way more than they probably should.
They cost way more than they probably should. You constantly misplace them, but we'll get to that at the end. They help you see a little more clearly. They often they look good on you. You know, they look good
they
with
can.
you, right? They look good with you, and that's
They make me appear more intelligent.
They do make you appear more intelligent.
You heard
Standing
that
there
right,
with a
baby.
woman, there it is. And if you just if they just sat on your face more often, then you may not risk losing them. Really,
It's a good point.
both of them,
Both parties.
both parties.
Yeah.
Yeah. If they just sat on your face
I
more
just-
often, if you just let them sit on your face a little
Both my
more
glasses and my women.
often, and your women,
My woman.
yes. Yeah. I don't know why these popped into my head, but
Do you have any more?
I had not off the top of my head. I don't know why I was thinking about
right.
that, but yeah, it's an interesting segue into.
Do you know what empathy quotient is?
No.
So an empathy quotient in the layman's of layman's, it tests your empathy scale
Okay.
for autism.
Oh, no shit.
So I want to run you through this, and
Can
you
we
guys
run?
can join at home.
Is it going to give me a score at the
Oh,
end of
it's
it?
going to give you a score, and we can find out if you're autistic.
Oh, you can actually do this?
I scored a 35, which is just barely above autistic.
Get the fuck out of here.
Dead serious.
This is a legitimate autism test?
Yeah. Well, it's an
Holy
empathy quotient. I'll read it here. Is an assessment tool created to measure empathy levels in adults, developed by Simon Baron Cohen and his team at the Autism Research Center at the University of Cambridge. The EQ consists of a questionnaire of two versions, one consisting of 60 items and 40 items. The test is designed to gauge empathetic capabilities in individuals, which involve recognizing, responding appropriately to the emotions of others.
Damn.
So
Let's do this.
let's find out if you're autistic.
Yes.
All right, so it's a question, and then it goes from strongly agree, slightly disagree, and then strongly disagree.
Okay.
Okay, so each question will have that. You just tell me which one you feel about.
Sounds great.
I can easily tell if someone else wants to enter a conversation.
Strongly agree.
I prefer animals to humans.
Strongly agree.
I try to keep up with current trends and fashions.
Slightly disagree.
Slightly disagree, okay. I find it difficult to explain to others that I understand easily. I find it difficult to explain to others things that I understand easily when they don't understand it the first time.
I find it difficult to explain those things to others.
Yes.
Strongly agree.
I dream most nights.
Strongly disagree.
I really enjoy caring for other people.
Strongly disagree.
I try to solve my own problems rather than discussing them with others.
Strongly agree.
I find it hard to know what to do in a social situation.
Slightly disagree, depending on the situation.
I am at my best first thing in the morning.
Strongly agree.
People often tell me that I went too far in driving my point home in a discussion.
Strongly agree.
Yeah, I know that one. It doesn't bother me too much if I am late to meeting a friend.
Strongly agree.
Friendships and relationships are just too difficult. I tend not to bother with them.
Slightly agree.
I would never break a law, no matter how minor. Strongly disagree.
Strongly disagree. Yeah, you're answering these for me.
Yeah, I've already tapped a few of them here. I find it often difficult. I often find it difficult to judge if someone is rude or polite.
I strongly agree.
In a conversation, I tend to focus on my own thoughts rather than on what...
Strongly agree.
Yeah, I already had that one answered for you. I prefer practical jokes to verbal humor.
Strongly agree. Wait, practical.
So like pranks.
No, pranks. No.
I would say you
No, I
disagree with
disagree
that,
on that. Yeah, I strongly disagree on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't know why.
I know when you
immediately
were
went
like
to that.
strongly agree. I was
No,
like,
I don't play pranks.
I was like, you're
No,
not a prankster.
because I don't. No, I'm not a prankster.
I'm not a prankster either.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't do that.
Yeah. I find them annoying, to be quite honest.
Yeah,
with you.
it irritates the shit out of me.
Fuck with me? Like, don't fuck with me.
Yeah, I hid your shoes. Like, well, fucking give them back.
I just hit people.
I saw the funniest shit. Just, I know we're taking a little bit of a hiatus. I want to finish this. Trust me.
ADHD test.
Yeah, hold on. I watched this, and I'm going to put it up for you guys right now in the middle of this test because it's fucking hilarious. No, it's kind of long. I'm going to link to it. We're going to link to it.
Okay.
Down in the description. We're going to link. It is this dude, his friends, in order to, he's about to propose to his girlfriend.
Oh, no.
They pull up in a van.
Okay.
They cut him off on the side of the road. They stop. They jump out with crowbars.
kidnap?
They kick the shit out of the whole car so it looks real. They're breaking glass, breaking windows, smashing the front of the car. Grab him out of the car. Usher him into the back of the van. Close the doors. The woman is screaming hysterically.
freaking out.
Hysterically inside of the video. And then he comes out with flowers and a ring. And then kneels down on the side of the car, right? Opens her passenger door. And she is she's still hysterically crying. I mean, going into like full blown panic mode.
Yeah.
Can't control her emotions. It lasts. The reason why I'm not showing it here is because it literally lasts a while for her to even calm down. It is the worst thing I have ever fucking seen.
That's such a bad proposal.
Can you imagine if
You're
she was
an idiot.
Can you imagine if she was carrying concealed and she got out of the car and shot every one of those
and
fucking
she
guys?
just shoots him?
Fuck.
Yeah.
Like, anyway, go ahead.
Well, that you don't do that
Yeah.
if you know your fucking lady carries concealed.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got halfway through a test and I took a 2-minute hiatus. That was my ADHD test. Failed miserably. Let's do
miserably.
this. Okay.
I live life for today rather than the future.
Oh, I strongly agree.
Strongly agree. When I was a child, I enjoyed cutting up worms to see what would happen. You
Strongly agree.
I can pick up quickly if someone says one thing but means another.
I can pick up quickly if someone says one thing but means another.
another.
What do you mean by that?
Like,
It's a joke.
Okay.
It's a joke about the question.
okay.
Because I said, "What do you mean by that?" Do you see what I'm saying?
I
Strongly.
What do you mean?
I strongly disagree. I do not pick up quickly.
I was like, are you really having I tend to have very strong opinions about morality.
Strongly agree.
It is hard for me to see why some things upset people so much.
Strongly agree.
I find it easy to put myself in somebody else's shoes.
Strongly agree. No, wait. I find it easy?
Yeah.
No, I find it difficult.
difficult.
Yeah, it's difficult. Sorry, I'm not. I'm not.
Strongly disagree or slightly disagree?
No, I strongly disagree. I'm like not. Yeah.
I think that good manners are the most important thing a parent can teach their child.
Do you know why I strongly disagree on the last question? So just so we can go over that real quick.
I find it easy to put myself in somebody else's shoes.
Yes.
Probably because they're a smaller shoe size.
Yes, that's exactly right. I have
That's
tiny feet.
generally it
I'm
for
like
me.
a size 9. I have tiny feet.
You can fit in most shoes.
Yeah, I can fit in most shoes. It's genuinely because I believe in personal accountability, and I've gone through a lot in my fucking life, and I don't allow it to dictate who I am. And when I hear people complain about things that is probably their fault in the first place, I don't feel fucking bad for them. It could even go with death in the family because that is the natural course of human beings' life, right? People die.
Right.
Now, unexpected death, got it. I can empath with that a little bit, right? But I can empathize with that a little bit. Anyway, let's carry on.
But like an elderly death, you're like,
Yeah,
it
dude, your
happens.
fucking grandma died? Yeah, see,
sorry.
That's what happens to old people, man. They
Yeah.
fucking die.
Love you, Gam Gam.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Exactly. I'm not happy, but
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Feel a little bad.
Yeah, she's fucking 98 years old,
I'm gonna
man.
miss her.
She lived a good life.
Yeah.
Jesus. Let's
So-
be happy about that.
So I can empathize. I can put myself in their shoes, but I just still don't care. So I'm not sure which
yeah.
is worse.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Tyson came out there.
Yeah.
Can't
We're
feel
with. It's probably just me hitting you so hard while we're doing Muay Thai.
Muay Thai.
Yeah, it's okay. You'll get better.
It's probably from getting my face sat on too much.
All right, next one.
I think good manners are the most important thing a parent can teach their child.
Good manners?
Yeah.
I slightly agree.
Okay.
I slightly agree. I think it's important. I don't think it's
That's
the
how
most
I
important.
answered that one too.
I don't think it's the most
It's-
important.
I think it's kind of important.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like to do things on the spur of the moment. Strongly
Oh,
agree.
good God, yeah.
I am good at predicting how someone will feel.
Strongly disagree. No idea.
I am quick to spot when someone in a group is feeling awkward or uncomfortable.
Strongly disagree.
If I say something that someone else is offended by, I think that's their problem. Not mine.
Strongly agree.
Yeah. If anyone asked me if I liked their haircut, I would reply truthfully, even if I don't like it.
Strongly agree.
I can't always see why someone should have felt offended by a remark.
Strongly agree.
People often tell me that I am very unpredictable.
Strongly agree. Are you just answering these? Because you know what I'm going to say.
Yes.
Okay.
I enjoy being at the center of attention at any social gathering.
I slightly agree. Maybe not the center, but around the center. I like entertaining. Yeah.
Seeing people cry doesn't really upset me.
Strongly agree.
I enjoy having discussions about politics.
Strongly agree. I mean, that's what we do is sit here and
So
talk
we
about it all
literally
day.
sit
Can't lie to people still listening to this.
I've already answered this one, but I'm very blunt, which people take to be rudeness, even though this is unintentional.
Strongly agree.
Yeah. I don't find social situations confusing.
Slightly disagree.
Other people tell me I am good at understanding how they are feeling and what they are
Strongly disagree.
thinking. When I talk to people, I tend to talk about their experiences rather than my own. That one I wish there was a more middle ground for.
Yeah, about there slightly disagree. I slightly disagree. I don't talk about their experiences rather than mine. Yeah,
It upsets me to see an animal in pain.
Strongly agree.
Yeah. I am unable to make decisions without being influenced by people's feelings.
I am unable to make decisions without being influenced.
By people's feelings. I am able to make decisions without being influenced by people's feelings. I am able to.
Yeah, I slightly agree, and I do that from like a leadership perspective inside of our own company. Right.
Yeah,
I can
absolutely.
say that I definitely take people's but
consistently.
then sometimes I don't give a fuck if they just really have screwed the pooch. So yeah.
Or if it's just a really bad.
If it's just a bad human.
It's just a bad idea.
Yeah, bad idea.
There are bad ideas.
Oh
guys.
yeah, absolutely.
You know that phrase, there are no bad ideas?
There are.
It's just so they can hear your idea and try and coach you to a better idea.
that other phrase, the customer is always right?
It's not true either.
They're wrong all the fucking time. Yep.
I've heard some very wrong things.
Yeah.
People have been like, dude, what do you think about this?
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
I'll take you out in a second, bud. I can't relax until I have done everything that I had planned to do that day.
Strongly agree.
I can easily tell if someone else is interested or bored with what I am saying.
Strongly agree. I can pick up on that cue pretty quick.
I get upset if I see people suffering on news programs.
Strongly disagree.
Friends usually talk to me about their problems as they say I am very understanding.
Slightly disagree.
I can sense if I am intruding, even if the other person doesn't tell me.
Strongly disagree.
I often start new hobbies, but quickly become bored with them and move on to something else.
Strongly agree.
People sometimes tell me that I have gone too far with teasing.
Strongly agree.
I would be too nervous to go on a big roller coaster.
Strongly disagree.
Other people often say that I am insensitive, though I don't always see why.
Strongly agree.
If I see a stranger in a group, I think that it is up to them to make the effort to join in.
Strongly agree.
I usually stay emotionally detached when watching a film.
Strongly agree.
I like to be very organized in my day-to-day life and often make lists of the chores I have to do.
Strongly disagree.
I can tune into how someone else feels rapidly and intuitively.
Slightly disagree.
I don't like to take risks.
Strongly. I don't like to take risks. I strongly disagree. Yeah, I definitely do.
I can easily work out what another person might want to talk about.
Strongly disagree. Yeah.
I can tell if someone is masking their true emotions.
Slightly disagree.
Before making a decision, I always weigh the pros and the cons. Strongly agree.
Yes.
I already know.
Yeah, I just make the decision. Yeah.
I don't consciously work out the rules of social situations.
Strongly agree.
I am good at predicting what someone will do.
Slightly disagree.
I tend to get emotionally involved with friends' problems.
Strongly disagree.
I can usually appreciate the other person's viewpoint, even if I don't agree with it.
Slightly disagree.
Okay, score my answers. Your score was 9 out of 80.
Holy shit.
Scores of 30.
Fucking Christ, dude.
Scores of 30 or less indicate a lack of empathy common in people with autism or Asperger's syndrome.
Fucking Christ, dude. A 9?
Read it and weep.
I have autism or Asperger's?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, dude. Well, I'm just barely scraping by. Barely.
Wow. So you're on the lower end of the spectrum
Yeah.
for sure.
I had like a 35. Barely.
Wow. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
9.
This isn't about like being a sociopath or anything, is it?
No,
about having
it's just being
all right.
autistic. Yeah.
Okay.
No. Well, I mean, also a lack of empathy does kind of play into sociopathic, psychopathic tendencies.
Yeah. So you have a 95%. You know, I will say that there have been times in my life that I haven't felt like this. Like pre-military, that was a very different human being. I probably would have answered that a little bit differently, but it's still, I can only assume that it would have put me at a 20 or a 25 pre-military. Because a lot of those, because a lot of those were just like when you
I
said,
feel like
when you see things on the news, do you feel bad for these people? And I just, not really. You know,
I feel like you only got a 9 because you have 2 daughters.
yeah. What do you mean?
I mean, the only reason you scored that high is because you have 2 daughters.
Okay.
I feel like if you didn't have 2 daughters,
okay, yeah,
it
would have just
it was zero.
It would just be like, you're not a human. I think somebody created you in a lab.
Yeah. You're a little fucked up there, bud. It would have been like, do you care about animals? No.
Yeah.
Do you care about other humans?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Does watching children die make you sad? Don't really think about it. No.
No, don't really think about it. No, shit happens. Shit happens. Yeah, no, I think you may be right. Yeah. Because even the whole animal thing, look, there's 2 types of people out there with animals, right? Now, do I enjoy seeing an animal hurt? Absolutely not. I don't want to see it. I don't like it. So I'm not going to answer the question like that. Now, does it bother me more now that my daughters have a dog and I just imagine them seeing their animal hurt and then I think that they're hurt? Oh, yeah, of course. That's what bothers me. But there are 2 types of people out here. And it is if you were starving, right? End of the world happens, total apocalypse. You're all out of food.
There's a person who's going to eat their dog, and there's a person who's not going to eat
That's
their
it.
dog.
There's a person who's going to eat their dog.
You're
going to
eat that dog.
And I'm going to eat the fucking dog.
What if your dog was bear, though?
Bear, I couldn't eat that dog, man.
That's what I'm saying.
No,
dude.
not that dog.
I couldn't eat that dog.
No, I could eat this dog.
Yeah, I could probably eat more of it, too.
I could probably eat this dog, yeah. But yeah, there are people that couldn't eat the dog. But I've literally had a dog before, and somebody asked me that question when I had Nika, which I had a pit bull until I had kids, and she, snapped at one of them, and then I gave her back to, it was a shared dog between me and my ex-girlfriend, so I gave her back to my ex-girlfriend. I didn't take her to the fucking pound, and everybody freak out over there, and it's fucking PETA in the comments. I
took her out back and shot her.
I took her out back and shot her. No, but when somebody asked me that question, I had Nika, and I love Nika, like good dog, right? Great dog. She's awesome companion. But I looked at her, and I was like, yeah, I'd fucking eat that dog.
I'd eat that dog.
You know what I mean? Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Bear's a little unique, a little different.
Dude, he's a unique dog.
Yeah.
He's a good boy.
That could be the...
Yeah, you're a good boy, dude.
All over the place right now. Not you.
Not you. You're getting 8, dude.
So...
How do you feel about that? How do you feel about that score, Dines?
A 9?
Yeah.
On the autism scale? Well, technically...
It's just an empathy scale.
Hold on.
Which can indicate autism.
Well, let me look at it from this perspective, because life is all about perspective, Nolan. Okay?
That's right. Every disadvantage has an advantage.
So we are going to run these numbers right now. And the way I'm going to look at it is not a 9 divided by 80, which would give me an 11%, which was be an F.
That would be an FA.
What I look is I flip that on its head, and I say I actually scored 71 right out of 180. Now, if I scored 71 right out of 180, I have a B+. That's an 89%. That's the way I look at it, Nolan. In the world of autism, I'm a B+.
I'm a B+ in autism, dude.
My only regret
That's
is...
going on a shirt, dude. I'm a B+ in autism.
I have a B+ in autism. You can get it down in the merch section of Tacticon right now. No,
maybe.
Maybe. But the way I'd have to look at that is the only regret that I have about that entire quiz that I just took is that I didn't ace it. But that would be requiring...
I'm disappointed in you,
That'd
too.
be requiring the admission that I enjoyed to probably torture animals, which was the only thing in there that was probably keeping me from the actual
0.
The A that I was really looking for, the perfect
that
score.
A+.
Yeah.
You were just...
Yeah,
So
that's
close.
an interesting test.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
You guys should all take it at home.
Now, there were a few things where I was like, am I answering that right? That I probably could have. A lot of the ones...
There are some filler questions just to kind of
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So the ones that... Did you hear me say slightly a couple times? Slightly agree, slightly disagree. Those were the ones that I was kind of unsure of. I was like, I'm on the fence about some of those.
Right.
What happened to the lighting? Oh, she did Bear
I
move
think
the...
he just moved it.
Bear moved it. It's okay. He's your PA.
Yeah. Good job.
Your production assistant. Yeah, I don't know. Those were the ones where I was just on the fence about. I was like, well, I mean, sometimes I can tell if people are awkward in a conversation. If they're, I can sometimes read people. Can you read people when they're like, when they don't like you?
Yeah.
I feel like I can too.
Yeah.
But then I've heard it other times where I'll be like, I don't think that guy likes me. And somebody will be like, no, he fucking loves you. He fucking loves hanging out with you.
He's your best friend?
Yeah, he's like a fucking awesome friend. I'm like, oh.
I don't know.
Yeah. So.
No, I think the only reason I scored higher is because I had more slightlies.
Oh,
Yeah.
you had more slightlies
I had some
than
more
I had.
slightlies than you had.
Okay, got it.
You had much more stronglies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah, I'm very black or white. I'm kind of one way or the other with a lot of things. Yeah, and some of that shit's just fucking... Obviously, I do not like making lists. Obviously, I want everything right now. I'm very impulsive.
See,
I do.
that was one of the things that I put slightly on because I love making lists and fucking doing it, but I never fucking do it.
But you never actually get
Right?
it done.
So I was like, I should say that I disagree.
Yeah.
I was like, but it does help me.
Yeah.
I just don't do it.
And I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I just don't do it.
Yeah, I just don't do it.
Well, that's ADHD. In my opinion, a lot of ADHD is like, you know that you really want to do something, you know that you really have to do something, and then these things don't get done.
Right.
You can, a good way I can describe ADHD is if I have 200 things to do, they have to all get done today or they don't get done at all.
Ever.
I don't do
No.
like 1 or 2 a day. Fuck that. I'm doing it all right now. It's all or nothing, baby.
That
you know?
annoys Carly to the fucking end of the world sometimes with me because I'm like, all right, we're doing house chores today. And she's like, God damn it.
Because it's an all day.
Because it is the entire house.
Yeah.
It's not like, hey, let's just do the dishes and do some laundry. No, it's, well, now we're fucking dusting. Now we're vacuuming. Now we're cleaning out the litter box.
Yep.
Now is there something to do with the cars? Do we have to do something with the lawn?
Yep.
Like,
My wife it drives her crazy because like either I won't go out in the backyard and do any yard work or I'll be out there all fucking day.
right.
That's it. And she's like, look, I was just looking for you to go out and do something for 30 to 60 minutes
No,
and
you
get
fucked
these
up.
like 3 things done
fucked up,
that I,
dude.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was like, once I'm out there, that's it. It's a fucking all day event.
Yep.
I am going to repaint the house if I have time.
Yeah, right.
Like,
if you give me paint and a roller,
Yeah.
that house is getting painted.
I will demo it and rebuild it as long as I can get it done today. If not, then you're gonna have
Society's really
you're gonna
let
have a
us down.
foundation for the next 6 months because I'm not coming back to it. I saw a really funny ADHD meme where it said it had a dude that painted, he primered something in his backyard, and then he walked in and he looked at the can and it said, "Let primer sit for 30 minutes before applying second coat." And he walked in his house and he came up to the sliding glass door and it said 3.5 years later, and it was like still sitting
there.
outside there, the same place he left it. I'm like, dude, just nails it, man.
It's
That is
so bad, dude.
ADHD.
It's so bad. For those of you who don't understand what we suffer from, what we I saw this funny fucking meme, ADHD break. I saw this funny fucking meme. It was this girl and her little brother, and she's like, "This is my little brother. He suffers from autism." And he goes, "I don't suffer from it. I just have it."
Asshole.
And I'm just like, "Me too, kid.
Yeah, me too.
But right, like for those of us who do have bad ADHD, and you guys don't understand it, we will not eat for. Like if we're invested,
Yeah.
like we won't eat or sleep until job done.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. If
Like
I
you'll
got
be
the
like, "Are you
motiva-
hungry?" I'd be like, "No."
And it's the only thing I can think about.
Yep.
It is absolute full-blown obsession. I think that autism, OCD, and ADHD like bleed into each other a little bit.
It's a spectrum,
right?
dude, yeah.
They're really, you know what I mean? I think there's this kind of like a Venn diagram of,
Right.
of the behaviors between OCD, ADHD, and autism.
100%.
That cross over, and you have some serious commonalities in the center of that Venn diagram, genuinely.
Yeah.
Because I've noticed that with me. And I know that when I took medication for ADHD, it stifled creativity. I couldn't sleep. It's an amphetamine, so I couldn't sleep or eat really. And dude, okay, so I love now, and obviously what could I do? I could focus.
Right.
I could focus on shit that didn't matter to me. I was focusing on I was able to focus on the math problem from school, but I don't give a fuck about the math problem from school.
Right.
Because I want to play, you guys are gonna laugh.
Metal Gear Solid.
No, I wanted to
Yeah.
play AD&D, like Advanced Dungeons and
Hell
Dragons,
yeah,
and I
dude.
want to build my character up to level fucking 62,
use
and
my
I don't want
fucking
that to stop.
imagination,
And I
yeah.
wanted to like create. I was like creating these character books for like Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, like creating these characters and drawing them, and like, what if I gave them this power and this power, you know? But I wasn't doing the math problem, and so it stifles creativity. That's all that shit does. Adderall, like, will it get you through college? Yeah, because you're gonna be able to focus on shit you don't care about, possibly. But
Yeah, you'll be able to read an entire fucking textbook.
yeah, but we wouldn't be able to create the content that we do and do the job that we do, creating products, creating content, creating unique signs on t-shirts, whatever
Dude,
it
if
is.
we were on Adderall, this would be a different game.
Oh,
This would be completely different.
No, it
we
would
wouldn't be
just-
Jake and Nolan.
no.
Yeah.
Now, other people that didn't have ADHD could take Adderall and probably be Jake and Nolan, because that's what it does to people that don't have ADHD.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And so
But if we
here
were on that Dr. Meth,
here on national television, I'll admit it. You know, I have dabbled in the powder in the past, in the not the serious stuff, just the cocaine.
yeah, not serious stuff.
You know what that shit did to me? It calmed me down.
Yep.
I could sit there and focus on a movie.
Yeah.
Most people are like, well, let's go out, let's tear it up, I do a line and I'm like, and I don't do it anymore, but back in the day, I could just be like, you know what, you guys go out, I'm gonna watch National Geographic tonight. Straight up, dude.
Yeah.
Just sit on the couch and watch TV.
Same fucking thing happened to me. I've done it once in my entire life.
Mm-hmm.
I did it and I just went, what's the hype about this?
Yeah.
And everybody else around me is like, whoa, let's go. And I'm just like,
I am calm. I am ready to focus on something.
I was like, I've never been more calm in my entire
Give me a
life.
book to read. Yeah, dude, it does the opposite to me.
It's like caffeine.
Yeah.
It's like caffeine for us.
100%.
Yeah.
Caffeine calms me down. I'm agitated and anxious. Caffeine takes it down. Like I'm like, boom, breath of fresh air, right?
Yeah.
It's
you
crazy
might need
how
to
that
relax on how much caffeine you have, though.
Lots. I have
Yeah.
lots.
You might
yeah.
you might need to actually trim that back.
Mainline that shit. Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
just a fucking IV from the coffee machine into your fucking veins, dude.
I passed. You know what NO Explode is?
Yes.
It's that
know.
that pre-workout.
Oh yeah.
I took, because I have ADHD, I used to take 3 scoops of that shit before I worked
Hell
out in
yeah.
the gym. I took 3 scoops, and then I couldn't remember if I took 3 scoops
So
or
you
not.
would take 3 more scoops?
So I took 3 more scoops. It just happened once. I got in the gym. I was doing an overhead press, like a military
Yeah.
press in the gym, and I got the weights up, and I just passed the fuck out. I saw stars and I passed out. Just completely blacked the fuck out in the gym.
God.
Yeah,
Just out.
out.
Dude, that
I'm
shit.
like, why do I feel weird? Why do I feel so calm? Like I was so much calmer than
There's
I
so
knew.
much fucking nitric oxide flowing through your body that your capillaries are like this big, and there's no blood anywhere in your body because
Yeah.
it's just stuck.
Yeah, just knocked me the fuck out.
Your heart's working like this, trying to pump blood somewhere because your capillaries are the size of quarters. It's like, I don't have enough pressure.
Yeah, ADHD, that whole thing, it's a blessing and it's a curse. If you know
100%.
how to channel it, I mean, it genuinely is a borderline superpower.
It is.
It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you can channel it properly, if you can get excited about something, stay focused on it, understand. And that's why I was saying, like, even for more so for guys like me, I talked about how it's not the pursuit of happiness, it's the happiness of the pursuit. That for me, it really rings true as somebody with ADHD, because it's that excitement of getting the project started. And fortunately, this is the reason why this is the only position that I could ever be in occupationally, because I'm genuinely unemployable. And that's not a joke.
Oh no, I would not hire you.
I fucking am unemployable. Nobody would hire me.
You'd be a
I don't
monster.
show up to my fucking meetings. I miss things all the time. I'm late to fucking everything. I'm like, oh no, I was doing this and I forgot about that. I'm highly disorganized.
Not to beat a dead horse on this, but the amount of meetings that you've set that you've been late to.
Oh yeah.
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 Yeah. When you asked me that question, where you're like, are you late for events with close friends and you don't feel bad about it?
I hit strongly disagree immediately, and then you're like slightly disagree. I'm like, all right.
No. I said strongly.
Did you?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
No, I think it said you don't feel bad about
Yeah.
it, and I said strongly agree.
Yeah.
If I don't feel bad, no, I said strongly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like. I'm like, sorry, dude, I'm fucking late. You know.
Yeah.
Now,
No,
do I get
sorry.
mad if other people are late and I'm on time?
100%,
Better believe that shit, dude.
Dude.
Yeah, if I'm there and you're not,
What the fuck are you
what's
doing?
going on? Could be 4:32 for a 4:30 meeting. Why are you 2 minutes late? But if I show up at 4:32, I'm like, I'm basically on time.
I'm already here.
Basically
15
already-
minutes?
Yeah.
Whatever.
If I got the 15-minute window, everything's gonna be okay.
It's like when you shoot me a Slack message and you're like, hey, did you get this done? And then you text me 1 minute later, hey, did you see my Slack?
Yeah, I know. Exactly.
And then you won't respond to my message over like 2 days.
Yeah, I did, and I was asking you questions, but I can't get a fucking answer because you're not responding to your text. That should have been a question in there. Do you have 15 unread texts and unresponded to tests over the last 2 weeks? Yes. Yes. Strongly disagree, because I actually have 55. Dude. You know, it's brutal, dude.
Bad.
It is brutal. But you know when that changes, that dynamic changes, is when if I am running late to a thing with people that are not close to me, a new set of people, for example.
Who don't fully understand.
Yeah. Like,
who don't know what they're getting themselves
exactly.
into.
Like the first basically friend date between
gotta
you and
keep
your
up the
wife,
mask.
you and your wife and that new set of friends you're going to meet somewhere. I will go into fucking full panic mode if we're late. Now, I will still be late.
Yeah.
But I will be like, fuck.
Yeah.
About being late.
Yeah.
Right? Where if it's somebody that I know, I'll be like, everything will be fine.
I feel like for me, it's a 30-minute max, right?
Yeah.
Like if it goes past 30 minutes, then I'm upset about being late.
Right.
But like if it's within that 30-minute window with like friends, I'm like, whatever, dude.
Whatever.
Like
Exactly.
you could show up 30 minutes late. I'm not going to give you a hard time.
Exactly.
If it's 32 minutes,
Yeah, then you've gone
I'm
past the
giving you
threshold.
shit.
I'll give you a perfect example of missing meetings. Today I had a 10 o'clock meeting, 10 o'clock Tuesday meeting with the Amazon PPC guys. It's actually a very important meeting. It's how we're discussing PPC strategy
incredibly important.
over the course of the next week. I was on a call with a student from the 2A Pro course. I could have said to the student,
let me call you back.
let me call you back. I got a meeting to go to. But instead, I let it run until 10:05, and I thought to myself, it's fine. This conversation should be over soon. 10:10 goes by. This conversation will probably be over soon. 10:15, I'll bet I could still get in there. They'll probably still be in there waiting for me. Got off the phone at like 10:45. Meeting is long gone. They're not on there anymore. And I never even responded to them and said, hey guys, I'm sorry for missing the meeting. Yeah.
That's so bad.
I know.
Dude, that's so bad.
I fucking know. That's who I am though.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I love
I
you
don't
for
do
it.
it. I don't do it to be like I'm going to be an asshole today. But it's one of those things where it's like, okay, now I've got to have the uncomfortable conversation on why I didn't make it to the fucking meeting. Blah 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 blah. And then I'll do it. I'll do it in 5 minutes. I'll do it in another hour, and then I procrastinate it until it's never even done. And so next week when I see them in that 10 o'clock a.m. Tuesday meeting, guess what I'm going to say? Hey, sorry about not making it to the meeting last week, guys.
But this time I'm on time.
But this time I'm on time.
Hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk to you guys because I feel like this is really important. This brought up a thought in my brain because I deal with you.
You do.
I deal with you constantly, but you also deal with me. And I want to talk to you guys about dealing with somebody who can be fucking difficult. You can be, but I love the shit out of you. We can all be fucking difficult.
Yes.
That's not just a hatred on you.
Indeed.
But anybody in your life can be difficult. You are thinking right now of that person that you're like, that person's fucking difficult and I don't like dealing with them. Think about it like this. And this has helped me with many of my relationships throughout time. Because like you said, that's just who I am. right? That's just like, that's fucking me. Sorry.
Yeah.
Like, it is what it is.
Tis what it is.
Bully them about it,
Yeah.
but you can still love them and you can still just kind of like accept that. You don't have to be like, this annoys the shit out of me, and thus I just do not like this person. Obviously, there are going to be some things that cross the fucking line.
Right.
Right? But like with things like that, with things of like lack of empathy, with missing, like being late to things, shit like that.
You bully me all the time about that stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's
all the time.
Just bully your friend.
Yep.
It is who they are. You can poke fun at them. They'll poke fun at you. But just like, it's okay to just kind of accept people. I feel like that's one of the things that kind of really bugs me about today's society.
Yeah.
Is that people just are so ready to fucking cancel everybody, every one of their friends, because they don't vibe with what I'm putting down. And I just don't need that in my life.
Yeah.
That kind of like that attitude.
Yeah.
Right? Like, yeah, I was friends with him for 10 years, but he started doing this thing that I didn't like.
Right.
So I got rid of him. It's like, have you ever thought about just being like, I don't like that. Whatever.
Yeah. But he's still going to do it and it doesn't affect me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe he, like, I don't know if you ever watched Everybody Loves Raymond, but
No.
But the brother, stupid thing, he touches his chin with his food. It's this long fucking backstory about how the mom favored the other brother and would do that with like the food. Like she would touch it to his chin and then like, and so he would do it to himself. But then he's like stuck as an adult man doing it. You know what I mean? It's like, so what? Your buddy touches his food to his chin. Does it fucking matter?
Doesn't really matter.
Like bully him about it, but like whatever.
Yeah. If you guys want to know, for example, do you know when we plan our podcasts and how we plan ahead on our podcasts and how we schedule these into our work schedule every week?
Please elaborate, Jacob Dines.
Let me walk you through the scheduling process for these exact podcasts. This is how it works. I'm going to run you down a typical day.
90% of the time.
90% of the time.
90%.
This is what will happen. I will walk by Nolan's office. Maybe I'm going to the bathroom. What's up, Knowles? What's up, dude? Trying to podcast today? Yeah, let's do it right now. I will disappear. I'm just going to go get a cup of coffee first, and I will leave. And 2.5 hours later, I will come back.
I was going to say 2.5 hours.
And I will come back and I will be like, are we still doing this? And it's like 5:30 at night. Hence tonight is 7:30 at night.
They literally started at like 5:30.
Are we still doing this? And he's like, yeah, man, I guess so. And that's why he's such a good human being, because although it's probably the last thing he wants to do until 10 o'clock at night, but he does it anyway.
Fuck it, dude.
But it's often just us talking about something and going, we should just go podcast right now. We should just go do this right now.
Yeah, let's go podcast.
Yeah, and there is no rhyme, reason, or schedule.
Yeah.
And that's why
there's a lot of times when you'll just
like
like burst open the door, you're like, you done a podcast?
you done a podcast.
And I'm like,
I slide
let's
in
go.
like Kramer from fucking Seinfeld. Hey, you trying to fucking podcast right now?
Fucking podcast right now? Yeah, dog, let's get it.
So I know that you had talked to some other guys who run a podcast. I think it was Unsub Podcast or something like that, and they had told you like, "Hey, we're way ahead of we're
way
ahead of schedule. We're way ahead of schedule. Yeah. We plan these out. We schedule them. We've recorded all our next several months worth of podcasts over the course of the past few weeks, whatever it is." And that makes my brain explode because I'm just like, Jesus.
It's because fucking Eli has Show. So Show is very organized. She's got that shit on lock. She schedules everything out. She puts him in order.
Got it.
Because Eli is
all over the fucking place. Oh, I know. I met him.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have met him. Okay.
I've met him 3 times.
Listen. Here's the thing about Eli. I
love that man so much.
I know. This is the thing. And I know you do. You told me a bunch of cool stories and I've watched his stuff and he seems absolutely fantastic.
He's
and
one of the best humans I've ever met.
I've stood in the circle and heard him talk. Yeah. Here's the deal. Is I've yet to meet him because when I walked up to the circle at any event that we were in, he will be there for a certain period of time.
35, 45 seconds.
Or even if he's there for 45 minutes. When he's ready to not be there,
he's gone.
He is gone.
Yep.
And I haven't had the opportunity to reach over and be like, dude, even still to this day of the multiple events that we've been at, I have yet to be able to reach across that circle of people and go, hey, what's up, man? Because he's just like, bing.
Eli is the fucking definition of an Irish goodbye, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Just
like
gone.
When he is ready to go, he'll be there and just
dip.
gone.
Yeah.
So like you know how I annoy you when I just leave you in conversations?
Fuck.
He is that times like 11.
You know what he does? This is what Nolan does when we go to fucking events. And you're going to, if this has happened to you,
Sorry.
I'm sorry, but you're about to hear it. Because we will be standing. If him and I are talking, and there's an individual who walks up and starts talking to him and I, and Nolan decides that he doesn't like that person.
Or I'm just over the conversation. Doesn't have to be that I dislike the person.
Yeah. He's just over the conversation.
I'm just like, I'm done here.
But Nolan knows that I'm also done here. And Nolan may also know I don't like this individual that's part of the conversation.
Only because I got those extra points in the empathy score.
Dude, he knows that I don't. We think the same way. This motherfucker will leave. He will just walk away from the situation. Gone. And
Like
the second there's a break, the second I start like talking, that person may say X, Y, Z. And then I'm like, oh, ABC.
ABC.
The second my mouth opens, he's like, well, Jake's talking, I'm gone. And then I'm stuck there. There's no way out of that fucking
Which is
conversation.
hilarious because
You know
if
the right
you think
thing to do?
about it,
Go ahead.
you have less empathy than I do. Yet I'm the one that fucking did.
Yeah. No, I know.
Maybe I cheated
know.
on my test.
I know. Maybe you did cheat on your test. I know. That is kind of fucking weird, huh?
Yeah.
Because I should just be like, I'm fucking done with this conversation and I'm walking away.
Yeah, you're much nicer about it.
Yeah. But sometimes I don't know if I think you figure out if, what was that? It sounded like something.
This is nails.
Oh, interesting. I think you
getting
figure
that
out
ass.
whether or not you like something or you like someone faster than I do.
Very fast.
I think
very quickly.
I think you do.
I will always-
It does take me a little bit longer to figure out whether or not I do or don't like somebody.
I will always give someone more chances.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. So like, I do make my initial judgments quickly,
Yeah.
but that doesn't mean my initial judgments stay.
Got it.
I am more than ready to eat my own fucking words and be like, I like that person now.
Got
But
it.
like, I'm very much like, we could have a conversation for like 2 minutes, and I'm like, yeah, we're done.
Yeah,
or
we're
like,
done, yeah.
we're continuing, right?
Yep.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. You know, the other thing you could do is be like, hey, Jake.
we have that thing.
And I'd be like, yeah.
Oh, I forgot about the thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Nope.
No, not happening.
It's fucking
dude.
gone.
Nope,
Yeah.
not gonna happen.
So anyway, the entire purpose of this podcast was not supposed to be about my autism test. It was supposed to be.
Happy we covered it. I really wanted to know what
This
you were
this was clearly supposed to be about our presidents and their autism.
dude. So
It wasn't about my mental deficiencies. It was about our incumbent and our future president's mental incapacity. Yeah. So
I want to say a couple things on this. First, now this might sound a little edgy, okay? I don't think anybody past the age of 68, maybe 70, maybe I'll give it 73. Anybody past the age of 73 should be in political office.
yeah.
I think they can be advisors, but I do not think they should be in political office. Here is why. Studies have shown you can't change your taste in music
Yeah.
past like 64.
Right.
So we're supposed to let people who are 85 run the country and they can't even change their taste in music?
I think we should just take the minimum age and double it. Minimum age is 35. 70 is the cutoff.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
What's wrong with that?
What's wrong with that?
What's wrong with having a 35-year span? In fact, if you really wanted to take away some years and add some years, just to be able to like give it more of an opening, then
30 to 60. Why not 30 to 60?
yeah, why don't you lower the other fucking end of the age?
Yeah.
And 30.
30.
30 is when, a man can actually kind of start acting like a man,
I'm
feel.
28 and I feel
You're nowhere near ready.
feel
Nowhere near ready.
nowhere near. I still got 2 more years.
Yeah, at least.
Before I'm even beginning to be ready.
I felt that switch happen when I was kind of 30. I was like, I'm 30 now. So instead of acting 15, I'll act like 19, 20,
Yeah.
maybe even 21.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Basically, at 30, I was acting like
It's when a man becomes an adult.
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Basically, when I was 30, I was acting like the girls that I was dating when I was 20,
Right.
which were 13. I'm joking.
What?
What? That's a pedo joke. Get it?
Yeah.
No. So
Those aren't funny anymore because they're unfortunately true.
I know. That's there, unfortunately.
I made a joke about eating a baby.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to get into it, but
Funny. Okay.
I
All
made,
right.
the internet doesn't get to know it, okay? But I made a joke about it, and I was just like, those jokes just aren't funny anymore.
I know. Do you remember? It really is like pedo jokes used to be kind of funny.
Pedo jokes
They used to be
kind of
fucking
fun.
hilarious. Well, especially like, all right. That's
Right.
what I like about high school
school
girls.
girls.
I get older, they stay the same age, right? There's that. And it used to be like, oh, that's fucking hilarious. But now it's like, nope, that's disgusting and that'll get you shot.
Right. And
Yeah.
it's also like, it's also that once your eyes kind of become open to the actual monstrosities that exist out there, you're like,
Yeah.
I can't even fucking,
Yeah, I can't even
I
joke
can't
about
even
that.
joke about this.
That's right.
Like I remember, probably gonna get us canceled. I remember I was walking around the court one day, and it was my buddy made this joke. He's like, it was this mom in a stroller. She's pushing this stroller. We're walking around our fucking cul-de-sac,
Yeah.
and he goes, "Look at that babe." I was like, "The mom?" And he goes, "No, the baby." And I'm just like, that was hilarious.
Yeah.
But like, if you say it
'Cause
now,
it was
it's
so
like,
wrong, yeah.
But we were
Yeah.
also like 15 years old,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because it's so wrong, that shock value, and it was just like,
Yeah.
oh, that's kind of funny. But now it's like, oh, those monsters exist.
They do,
When you're
yeah.
15, you don't know those monsters exist.
You have no idea that people
no
are
clue.
actually out there doing that shit.
Yeah, and then you find out, and you're like, wow, I want to burn down the world.
Yeah, that's very
Yeah.
true. It's very true. So yeah, I mean the ages need to fluctuate, right? We need to get like I think 30 is a good start. That's
Right.
when dudes, quasi act like an adult. And then maybe take it up to 65. You know what I
65,
mean?
yeah.
That the age where
30
you can
to
start
65.
like when you can start drawing out on Social
Security.
Security, then get the fuck out of the presidency.
Like I said, you can be an advisor,
Sure.
but you're not making money.
And maybe a vice president.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah.
You've
just
been
not
there?
Yeah, you've been
been
there.
there?
You've been in some politics. You're a
Yeah.
little bit older. That's fine. I don't need the vice president running the fucking
I
country.
would still go to my grandparents for advice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now,
because they've lived it. But also, my grandmother lived through the Great Depression. So if I was like, Grandma, can I get rid of this bag of fucking walnuts that's been sitting in the freezer for 13 years? She'd say, no, we need to keep it in case we go through another depression. And I'm like,
we're not there.
she's like, the dryer lint can be saved. I'm like, stop it.
I can knit it. It will keep you warm.
It'll keep you warm in the winter.
Yeah, they would take dryer lint and they would put them inside the quilts. Like inside
Yes.
the, like from out, and they stitch
Yeah.
the squares and
Inside
stuff
the
them
squares.
inside and you put them
It's
inside the
insulation.
squares. It's
Yeah.
insulation for the squares and so
actually
you take
pretty
the lint
smart.
out. Yeah.
Yeah,
It was a thing.
Yes.
It was a way to be resourceful and there's nothing wrong with
No,
that.
absolutely
but I
not.
wouldn't want her running the fucking country
No, I
while
wouldn't.
she's sewing dryer lint into a quilt. So here's the long story short, okay? Because
Short story long?
I need to wrap this up.
Now we need to go.
Now we need to go. Now that your autism stuff is done, I'm losing focus here. We are in a terrible, terrible fucking situation.
Mojo bad.
Very bad. But what I want everybody to understand is this. Politics impact you more locally than they ever will federally.
Yes.
The important part about voting, we should vote on all the things, of course. Get out there, vote, do the thing. I think the most important thing that we need to realize is your life will be impacted more by your county superintendent,
Your sheriff.
your sheriff, the elected officials in your general area that are in close proximity with you, actually voting things in that affect you on your day-to-day basis, like where certain things go, like if they're going to put the prison right next to your fucking house. No, don't want to do that.
Yeah, how about fucking
vote that?
no?
Get out there and go vote. Get
There's
out there
plenty
and
of
go to your
land.
town
Get 'em
hall.
out there.
You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So those are the decisions that will directly impact how it'll affect you. Especially like your local sheriff will dictate, at least here in California, I don't know how it works anywhere else, but in California, our local sheriff will dictate whether or not you are allowed to carry concealed.
Yep.
Because they are it is not a shall issue state, it's a may issue state.
Yeah.
And if they decide, I don't think you have a good enough reason for that, then they don't have to give it to you. But if you're in a county with a good sheriff and you've elected a good sheriff, you can literally exercise your Second Amendment rights because that sheriff is in that office. Is it right that it works like that? Absolutely fucking not.
Yeah.
But it is the way it is.
It is the way
now,
it is.
am I worried about my president affecting whether or not I can carry concealed inside of my own county? He's going to have zero bearing on that.
Right.
Other than there's some trickle down stuff where a president will put Supreme Court justices into the Supreme Court, which has been fantastic, that will then have
It's
that.
great, and
that
it's
will then
also
have
terrifying.
that decision
Yeah.
of New York versus that wasn't Bruin. That was the
The
was-
Rifle and Pistol Association.
NRA.
No,
It was the
New York Rifle
CCW.
and Pistol Association versus
It was New York versus something. Fuck. Why am I not? I can't think of the case right now. But it was the concealed carry in New York, and they took it
Yeah.
all the way to the Supreme Court, and they said, no, like that's not a fucking thing. You have to allow people to carry concealed.
that was the Bruin decision.
Was
wasn't
that
it?
Bruin? Okay.
Yeah, that was Bruin.
That was all part
text
of
history and tradition.
Yes, text
Yes.
history and tradition that basically overrode what people were using the Heller decision to establish their laws behind. Okay, so it was Bruin. That, of course, that decision trickled down into some states, and people, states started changing their trajectory in the Second Amendment. I'll tell you where it didn't hit. It didn't really hit in California. That's for fucking sure. People still are people are still not able to exercise their Second Amendment rights in certain counties. You still cannot get it concealed. LA County, San Francisco. But it does help, and it did help many states. Having said that, locally is where it matters. People often don't vote when those ballots come into their mailbox, or they don't show up to the local ballots to vote on their county supervisor, superintendents of their county. Like there's so many things that could be voted. Your mayor, I mean, the things that the elected mayor in your city, the elected sheriff in your county, just those are the things that matter.
Yep.
So these two bumbling fucking idiots on stage may get us into nuclear war one day.
That's possible.
Right?
Yeah.
Big fucking deal.
Big deal.
But your day-to-day life is in your local politics.
Yep.
And so I just encourage everybody to pay attention to that.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to touch on what you were saying about like the local stuff just a little bit more. Like, for example, during the Obama administration, he was threatening assault weapons bans and things like that, right?
Yep.
As they all do.
Right.
The fucking sheriff around here and a bunch of the Northern California sheriffs flew out to Washington and they said, absolutely not. Like, our sheriff doesn't enforce fucking Second Amendment laws.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He says, no, we have the Second Amendment.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. He'll issue pretty much any fucking CCW out here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. El Dorado County is fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could drive down the road. You get kind of out of the suburban areas and you drive down the road. You wouldn't know if you were in fucking Kentucky or Northern California.
Yeah.
It is that. It's like that in most of California.
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't know if you were in Texas or California.
Until you see the yuppie going to Tahoe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you look at the blue hairs driving a Tahoe. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Tis a thing. Tis a thing.
It most definitely is.
Most definitely a thing.
In their Teslas.
Yeah.
They get stuck on the side of the road.
Well, with that, we've decided that both the presidential elects, is that how we would, the candidates?
Candidates.
Yeah. They're
Yep.
retarded. And Jake is also autistic.
Yeah. So our presidents are retarded and I am autistic. That's it.
This
That's
has been a very fruitful podcast.
this has really changed the world. I hope you folks have thoroughly enjoyed.
I hope you
because
guys had a fantastic Independence Day.
if you had half as much fun as I did, then you're probably miserable right now. I'm joking.
Is that because you had so much fun or you had no fun?
I had a blast. I always do.
Good.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
With that,
we bid thee.
I quit.